trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live, I don't know what these mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib, ain't getting money, you gotta ask for it. I'm tired of complaining, I gotta bitch change my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day these take, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it, ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
Yeah. One up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, daylight lights, camera action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You could see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Feel like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. If up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me, do you like how it tastes? Shawty, use up, can't treat you like my ace. I got way too many problems to be worried, I'm straight. Me and Craig had to watch for the Jakes. On the road, this crazy, I get 80.
Well, Coach, the seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Blue 60. Check 56. Check right.
A first carry for Elijah McGuire. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 29-yard line. Second and 6, just inside the 30.
56. Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus. Watch twist.
Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a third down.
What we got? Check 13. Check 13. Rush in.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. He's going to wind up and air it out into a double team, and it's intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
On first down, Morgan. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Cohen. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
To throw is Morgan. To throw on 3rd down. And Robinson with a big catch. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Morgan, off play action. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Here's Morgan on 3rd down. The catch made by Miller. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Anthony Miller, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Another try after the first down sack. Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
3rd and long, it's Stafford. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Khalil Mack make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
I'm going back to you. Bofo's the Mike. Mike's Bofo.
Morgan now. From the gun, he'll throw. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And inside the 20. Before he's brought down.
A gain of 18 on the play. 1st down, Bears.
Set.
First down, a run with Cohen. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
At the 19-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. This is Cohen. Oh, the spin. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Lions, nothing.
Red 80. I'm coming. Monday.
On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a play fake and it's Stafford. Looking downfield for Godwin. Into heavy traffic and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. That pick is 9th on the season.
Remember we were kids and you were playing Little League Baseball and they penciled you in the 9 spot in the order? That wasn't so good, was it?
Were you in the 9 hole?
Or you played the 9 position, right field? That wasn't so great.
That wasn't. You're picking dandelions out
exactly.
there. But the 9 picks
9 picks, you want that in a big way. That's a great season.
Heck of a season. On first down, Cohen. And he's got this down to the 35. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On first down, they go right back to Cohen. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. He covered a lot of ground, great blocking, and now they can sniff that end zone.
They certainly can, and because of that run, maybe you come back and fake it to him on this play and throw a little play action. Someone should break wide open.
Looking to throw. Morgan. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Taylor Gabriel with touchdown number 7 on the year as the Bears push further out in front. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
That would give right side to McGuire. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down.
Under 10, 10. You go tight. You got
Out of the gun, Stafford. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Morgan throwing to start the drive. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Back to throw. Morgan. This is Gabriel out on the left side. The nice footwork gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On the give, this is Cohen. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Some good strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
They'll run forward to Tariq Cohen, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen with touchdown number 8 on the year as the Bears push further out in front. Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half. You still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Stafford. This one to McGuire. Screenplay. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get position for at least 3 points.
On second down, it's Cohen. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
To throw is Morgan from the gun on 3rd down. That is caught by Cohen. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Morgan operating from the gun. Robinson's got it. Now Robinson coughs up the football. It's loose. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he's got some space here. And he brings it back. Can you believe it? An offensive disaster on the final play of the first half.
They just had to hold on to the ball.
Huge play for the defense. What a turn of events. They get the fumble return for a touchdown, the last play of the first half.
And how about the defense providing a score, amping up not just themselves, but the entire team as they head into the locker room.
And does that change the locker room speech at half?
There shouldn't be much of a speech necessary now. They've got things going their way.
It's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7. Yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They try again with Cohen. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Draw play. Cohen. He'll have another first down and more. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
A gain of 13 yards. First down, Chicago.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Morgan. From the gun, he'll throw. Steps away to his left. And he's going to keep it here. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Second and 6. And he completes it to Cohen. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Looking to throw. Morgan. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
Touchdown, Chicago! Tariq Cohen, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year as the Bears push further out in front. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at about the 31. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Trey Flowers able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now a throw for the left sideline, and he's got it. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Morgan now, off the play fake, flush to his right. He'll run it, and he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
At the Lions' 5-yard line.
They come out here in the I. They run. This is Cohen. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, it's Cohen. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Taking it in from a yard out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, and he's got him in the lead. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On first down, Stafford here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack there by Roquan Smith.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now a man open down the middle of the field. The reception good for 7. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing on third and long. Stafford, that's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford, Johnson the intended target, but now it's third down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Cohen. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left.
And it's third down.
Ready? Hustle. Check the play. I'm coming after you.
Now Morgan. Off play action. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. Here now, Johnny Townsend. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Stafford throws complete to Galladay. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Here's Stafford. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 25. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. We you know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 36-yard line.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Now they'll run it with Cohen. And past the 30, down to about the 27. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it